Hey guys, so I wasn't actually gonna make this into like a full-on YouTube video kind of a thing because I haven't really started making those yet. But there's so much that I need to say about this guy, that I'm just doing it. My room's messy. I did my hair and put on a new shirt. That's all. That's all the prep work that I did for this video. So we're just gonna jump in. Sorry, by the way, about the noise. I'm not really sure exactly how bad it sounds right now, but it's very hot. I live in Los Angeles, and I need to have my fan on, because otherwise I'm going to be drenched within, like, 2 minutes. So, sorry about it. Yeah. Anyways, on to the video! So, this video is about a gent named, well, I don't know his name, but he goes by Dungeons or Dragons on TikTok. And, I don't even know what to say. I just found out about him today. I made a couple of videos about him on TikTok before I streamed some Dead by Daylight. And oh my god, after I finished my stream, I went back, looked at some more of his videos, and he's just the worst. You know? This all started when I made a video, well, at least for me it started, when I made a video about how he thinks that metagaming is one, okay, and two, when you use your knowledge of how the game works to play the game. For those of you who don't know, what metagaming actually is when you know something as a player, and your character's actions are influenced based on that knowledge, as if the character had the knowledge, which they don't. A great example of metagaming and why it's, like, bad, is from this dude who commented on my video on TikTok. His name is Raining Fire. Another example, my old character, who was blind, didn't know who stole his bag after a night at a tavern. I, as a player, knew who did it, but Avi, my character, didn't know, as he was heavily drunk and didn't know or didn't notice. What ended up happening is my other friend, MG, because he metagames, kept trying to make my character inspect the player who stole my bag, which they never did because they don't like to metagame. I think this person handled the situation perfectly. They didn't know. They knew that the person who was trying to influence their actions didn't know, but were acting as if they did, and so they didn't do anything. It would have entirely ruined the immersion for all the players, but especially it would have ruined the whole plot thing for player 2, because they were able to, for whatever reason they were doing it, they managed to successfully loot something out of their bag, or steal their bag, or do whatever they did, which could have turned into, like, we have no idea what they were going to do with it. It basically just limits, you know, what players can do. But, yeah, I'm just gonna start showing some of his videos, and we're just gonna react to those. So, I don't know. Strap in! I missed my ear. I think that the best way to do this is probably just, we're gonna react to the first video that I saw of him, and then just kind of explore his page, you know? So, yeah, let's go.
Here's the deal. In a Dungeons and Dragons game, the DM does not write the campaign.
Yes, they do. First and foremost, yes, they do.
Not in the same way that, like, Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote Hamilton, or, like, Tolkien wrote The Lord of the Rings.
I don't think anyone's claiming that a dungeon master does write a campaign the same way that an author writes a book. Because that's just not what Dungeons and Dragons is. I think that you're just mad for the sake of being mad.
In a game of Dungeons and Dragons, every player writes their own character.
There it is. There's where he lost it, because before he said a DM doesn't write a campaign. He supports that claim by saying players create their own character, or players write their own characters, or however he worded it, which is a very, very different thing. And so a bunch of people naturally went into the comments and told him that he was wrong.
Now, you don't have to believe that.
Also, my biggest issue with this dude is look how smug this guy is. This guy is, like, so confident and, like, just full of himself, but he's so wrong, which makes it funny, but also just aggravating, you know?
That is just true.
No, it's not.
How much you interfere as a DM with your players' ability to write their own characters is up to you. You get to interfere with how much they get to write their own characters. But I argue that you shouldn't. You should let them help you write the campaign.
That's not how that works, because if the players help you write a campaign, then they're gonna know what happens, and they're gonna metagame. Now, to my knowledge, I haven't been able to find the video that this is referencing, but apparently I've heard that the video, like, this is a reference to people saying that characters aren't allowed to, like, just have infinite knowledge, like, you know, like they have to get the knowledge from somewhere. And this dude says if a player wants to give their character knowledge about something, they should be allowed to, with no limits. I'm not 100. Do not like quote me on that, but that's what I've heard is like the situation. So that was the first video that I saw, and then after that I went over to, I think, this one.
The only people I've ever seen complain about metagaming in Dungeons and Dragons are dungeon masters whose table I don't want to play at anyway.
No. Literally all of D&D TikTok and like all the video, like all these other YouTubers, they all talk about how metagaming is bad. Like everyone, no good D&D player or no good DM likes metagaming.
See, metagaming is the process of using your information about the game of Dungeons and Dragons, your information that you already know about that system, and using it to inform your choices while you play.
So here's the big thing, is that's not what metagaming is. That's just knowing how to play the game. Metagaming is when, I believe I explained this before, I don't know how I'm going to edit this video. Metagaming is when you take player knowledge, something that you as a player know, and treat it as character knowledge. If my character's asleep and player number 2 does something, I as a player know about it because I'm sitting at the table while it happened, but my character doesn't know. Metagaming would be if I confront them about it the next day, in character.
That's getting good at a game. Because that's exactly how you get good at chess.
You know what? This point, I will admit, yes, you're very right. That is exactly how you get good at a game. Because that's what playing a game is learning how to play the game. That's not metagaming.
That's how you get good at Dark Souls. That's how you get good at baseball. You learn the game, you learn the rules, and you learn how it works, and then you...
That's not how you get good at baseball. You get good at baseball by practicing.
Use that knowledge to inform how you play. The other thing is, dungeon masters do this all the time.
Because they're running the game. Even the thing that you're talking about, dungeon masters have to do that because otherwise there's no game. They can't run a game if they don't know how it works. If you're talking about actual metagaming, they're all the characters that aren't controlled by players. They're the entire world. They're everything. So they can't really metagame unless they make an NPC know something that they shouldn't know without justification.
You have to. So maybe you should worry less about trying to pull one over on these people and worry more about making sure that your players are having fun.
Immersion is fun. That's why people play Dungeons and Dragons, for immersion, because they want to roleplay in their role-playing game. Granted, a lot of people prefer combat over role-playing, and that's fine, but it's a role-playing game first and foremost. So yeah, most of the time players will have more fun if you don't metagame. That's the whole point that people are trying to make to this guy in his comments. And he's made a video because he's ignoring it. He likes to live in an echo chamber. He's in a bubble.
But my notifications are still off. I am not watching your stitches. I am not reading your comment.
So this video is where, like, I really had something to say, you know? Like, this was the big... Dude, this guy is, like, potentially very problematic. Hold on. Or at the very least, this guy has, like, a fairly problematic, like, mindset, I suppose.
Alright, so there's going to be no comments and no stitches and no nothing on this video. And if anyone makes a comment on any of my other videos about it, I'm going to report your account. Are we clear?
First of all, you can't report someone's account for interacting with your content.
I don't know anyone. A relationship. And to those people who follow me just because they want to get better at running Dungeons and Dragons, I'm sorry for any unpleasantness.
Good sir, I can assure you, nobody is following you because they want to get better at Dungeons and Dragons. The only reason that someone would follow you for that is if you are one of the first couple of TikTok accounts and they have a total of 0 prior knowledge and or experience with tabletop role-playing games. If you were like their first exposure to tabletop role-playing games, then maybe they would follow you for that purpose. But aside from that, nobody is following you for that purpose. I can assure you.
Sorry if you wind up watching this, especially to the girls and the gays and the neurodivergents and the people of color, because most of the people being unpleasant with me are straight white men. Go figure.
All right. Let's have a little chat, bucko. Provably false, because there are plenty of girls, gays, theys, and people of color in your comment section giving you shit for what you've said in your videos. You apologize to the neurodivergent. I'm neurodivergent. And I'm telling you that you're objectively wrong about metagaming. At the very least, that you're objectively wrong. Most of the other stuff is like relatively subjective, but like that, you're just wrong. But back to the main point, it's not just straight white males. Like, not even a little bit.
Because when you break it right down, the reason why they don't want to allow the player to be the one who controls how much knowledge their character has is because you don't accept their worldview.
Sir. May I call you sir? I don't know your pronouns. That's not what this is! Like, not even a little bit. I'm just gonna...
9 times out of 10, they're going to use the example of a barbarian with a low intelligence, because that's white supremacist code. It's racism.
Did you hear that, folks? Ensuring that your players obtain their in-game knowledge before they have the in-game knowledge is racist. Okay, no, but like seriously, the example of a barbarian with low intelligence. The barbarian portion is not important. The thing that we need to focus on is the low intelligence. Which means if they make an investigation check, or if they make a history check or something, there's a very good chance that they're not gonna succeed. But back to the point, this is still on the metagaming thing, I think. Let's say someone robbed a tavern while the barbarian was asleep. The barbarian with low intelligence comes down, finds out that someone robbed the tavern, and then wants to go find who did it. They make an investigation check to see if they can find any clues or anything. They have a low intelligence. Unless they roll like naturally very high, they're probably not going to find anything. Just wanted to throw in there, there's almost no chance, no matter how high they roll, that they're going to find out exactly who did it just from the investigation check alone. If you as a player know that it was your friend Dave who robbed the tavern, your character doesn't know that. They failed their intelligence check. They have no way of knowing that knowledge in that moment. You want to be able to know that in character because you know it out of character. But that, good sir, unless you're not a sir, I'm sorry, is not how the game works. And people are not, it's not racist coding to say, hey, you're not allowed to build your character the way you want. If you write a backstory and you add this bit of knowledge in your backstory, then yes, your character knows it. That's not metagaming. That's just, you wrote a backstory, I approved it as a dungeon master, it's fine. If someone, I will say this, I don't know why my arm did that, if someone writes a backstory and in it there is just like their character witnesses something or they know something that does not interfere with anything in the world, there's no problem, and the dungeon master declines it, that's a bad dungeon master. I will admit that. But if their backstory says, I don't know, let's say their backstory is like, oh yes, they're an artificer. They have a vast amount of knowledge on how dwarven technology works. But in this world, dwarves have been, maybe it's like Skyrim, where the dwarves have been extinct for who knows how long. And there's nobody who fully understands how the technology works. That would be a valid reason for the dungeon master to be like, hey, this part of your backstory doesn't work. Unfortunately, your character can't have that knowledge. I'm sorry. Maybe we can work something else out. Maybe you have vast knowledge of a different kind of technology. Maybe it's like Steam-based technology. Maybe something like that. That is 100% valid. That is perfectly okay. But that's not what you're complaining about. You're just saying if the Dungeon Master limits characters' knowledge for any reason, they're wrong. And that's not true. That's just not right. So, and it's not racist. I'm saying it again. It's not racist. All right. We're going back to some of these other videos. We're basically just rewatching these in the order that I watched them originally.
So I'm a very small account. Most of my videos only get like 200 views. But some people out there have decided that they want to make me the bad boy of D&D TikTok.
Hey, buddy. Come here. You're not relevant enough to be the bad boy of D&D TikTok. People are just calling you out for being wrong and narcissistic and just generally shitty about it. Like, here, I'll show you. A couple of hours ago, he had, I want to say 3,250, maybe, I think 3,256 followers. And he's claiming in a bunch of his videos that us making content talking about him is boosting him. So we're going to go ahead and we're gonna see it. That was like 4 hours ago, maybe 4 or 5 hours ago. So we're gonna see where he's at now. Oh, would you look at that? Oh god, sorry. Oh, would you how do I do this? Would you look at that? He has less followers than he did like 5 hours ago. You're not blowing up. You're not getting boosted. You're not the bad boy of D&D TikTok. You're just a narcissist getting called out for being a toxic dungeon master and or a toxic player. Sorry, bro.
Well, all I ever did was speak shibboleth.
What's shibboleth? Sorry, really quick. Shibboleth. Shibboleth. Any custom or tradition, usually a choice of phrasing or even a single word, that distinguishes one group of people from another. That's not what you did. That's not even a little bit what you did. What you did was you claimed the definition of a word, which was wrong. You voiced an opinion based on that thing. Now the opinion thing, that's fine. You're allowed to have your opinion. But the way that you've reacted to it is not shibboleth. And claim itself was not shibboleth. It was just an opinion. It wasn't about a group. It didn't distinguish a group of people from another. The fuck?
The fact that the overwhelming response has been shibboleth
I don't know what he means by that.
just means I knew who I was speaking to. You can't cancel someone who doesn't care how many followers they have.
We're not trying to cancel you, buddy. We're just calling you out on your bullshit.
I invite you to keep trying because you're really blowing me up.
No, we're not. I've already proven that we're not.
But my notifications are still off. I am not watching your stitches. I am not reading your comments.
And this is how you ensure that you never grow and you never improve as a person. If the amount of people that are giving him the criticism on his videos versus the amount of people that are agreeing with him is, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it on TikTok before. This dude has, this video alone has like, I think 1,600 or so views, 118 comments, and 6 likes. Actually, I can show you. 6 likes and 118 comments.
I do not consent to have a relationship with any of you right now.
Saying that doesn't make you cool. It doesn't give you power. Like, it does the exact same thing that just not responding does. This just makes you seem like you're a narcissist, which I mean you are, to be fair. At least that's what I and most of the other people in the comments that I've seen have noticed, because I've seen several people call him a narcissist.
But I will speak shibboleth one more time. Perhaps you'll hear me now. You don't need my permission to run your home game any wrong way you want.
That's the thing that really got me and like made me want to make this video, make a bigger video than just a couple of TikToks. You don't need my permission to run your home game any wrong way you want. Setting aside the fact that if anyone here is wrong, it's him. Objectively, he's wrong of what metagaming is in Dungeons & Dragons. He was wrong about it being just straight white men telling him off in his comments. He was wrong about it being racist to require your players to learn something before they know it in-game. Like, he's very clearly the wrong one here. But if you choose to run, and this is just me talking to you as the audience now, if you choose to run your home game in any particular way, if you want to encourage metagaming, that's fine. If you want to ban all magical items, that's fine. If you want to do whatever you want, that is perfectly okay. As long as your players are okay with it, that's fine. It's not, like, you can't really play Dungeons and Dragons wrong. You can just change the rules a little bit. There's no wrong way to play Dungeons and Dragons. There's just subjectively better and subjectively worse ways to do so. This guy's just a tool.
Now, Google is free. If you didn't understand some of that, look it up.
And that kind of stuff, it bothers me.
I think this must be a really good outlet for some of you.
Today, when I started my stream for Dead by Daylight, he had like just posted this video, so I hadn't gotten a chance to watch it yet. I watched it like halfway through my stream, and I reacted to it a little bit on stream. And then when I finished my stream, he had posted this next video. Just watch.
I think this must be a really good outlet for some of you. Because even though I told you to not comment, and I told you to not stitch, and
I never saw a video where he said to not comment and not stitch. He also turned stitches and duets and stuff off on every one of his videos that I've seen. So, yeah. But, yeah, I don't recall him ever saying that.
and I let you know that you're the ones blowing me up.
Again, we're not blowing you up. You've lost followers since the last time I checked, so.
Y'all can't shut up, can you? I picked up my phone and I opened TikTok and it shut itself back down. It was so fucking nuts.
I am willing to literally bet you my entire life saving it was an issue with your phone or your internet or something, not with TikTok, because I've had several videos go more viral than your entire account combined. I had a video where I posted it, the first 24 hours it got like 300 views, and then within like a 2-hour period it shot up to like 300,000 views. And when I opened the app and saw those notifications, my phone was fine, and I was using my 4-year-old phone, so you were not blowing up enough to like have the app crash. That's not even how that works.
What are you doing? I said block me, and you boosted me.
Again, we didn't boost you, but here's the thing, is it's not our job to block you, because we're having fun making fun of you and calling you out for your dumb tomfoolery.
I don't like being this asshole. I'm just trying to fix my account, and me blocking all of you is a lot of work. Each of you would only have to block one person. I am still not your father.
I'm gonna cut that little bit. I'm gonna react to that afterwards. But the big thing is, we don't care. That's the thing. We don't care that it's bothering you. That's the point. We're calling you out for being a narcissistic, toxic Dungeons and Dragons player. We're calling you out for being a narcissistic, toxic dungeon master. We're calling you out for being a narcissist in general. If it's an inconvenience to you, that's the point. The whole point of people commenting and telling you that you're wrong and stitching and duetting and whatever and telling you that you're wrong is to explain to you that you're wrong. If we cared that it was an inconvenience to you, we would just not be doing it. If you don't want to deal with the consequences of your actions, that is entirely your responsibility to go through and block everyone who's commenting and block everyone who's stitching and block everyone who's calling you out on your shit. We don't care. If we cared, we wouldn't be doing it, is basically the point. Now, about the dad thing, I think in one of his other videos, he made some kind of a comment about how, like, we have daddy issues. I think, I'll try to find the video. I couldn't find the video. But this dude, we don't want you to be our dad. What the fuck? If anything, you're causing daddy issues. You're causing people who have actual daddy issues trauma.
No relationship is owed here.
Nobody is saying that you owe them a relationship. If you want to comment, if you want to react, if you want to do whatever, go for it. But nobody is saying, like, I haven't seen anyone respond like, wow, and he hasn't even, like, said anything. Yeah, he hasn't even responded like, what a boo. Like, no one said that. So no one's expecting a response from you. However, I'm scrolling through these comments, And this is really funny to me. Someone named Paige, let me just do this. This person right here said, "This is like the 5th time you've mentioned not being our father. Projecting much?" Honestly, spot on, Paige. I think you're right on the money.
If you don't like me, you can leave my page and never see my face again.
Now, as much as I would love to never see your face again, that's not the point. The point is, people who are calling you out, people like me who are making content reacting to your bullfuckery, we're doing it so that we can protect the community. This is very much a see something, say something scenario, because if we don't say anything when we see toxic patterns in a dungeon master, that means that you're gonna end up with players one day who have to deal with your toxic dungeon master tactics. We're protecting those people, plain and simple. So that's all of his videos that I have already seen, but I do want to go through my comments on my videos and some of the other comments on his videos, and then afterwards I might go through and see some of his old videos, but we'll see. So first and foremost, this is my friend. He has the energy of a guy who listens to Critical Role and decided he knew everything about D&D. That is 100% actually no, that's not true, because Matthew Mercer is a good dungeon master and does not promote metagaming. He allows it occasionally, but for the most part, no, he's a good dungeon master. This guy is nothing like him. But wait, he's the bad boy of TikTok now. Exactly, this is my thing. Who would want to metagame anyways? Like, that's my whole thing. Like, it's like using cheat codes in a story-based game. Like, it just defeats the purpose and breaks the immersion. And this is a reaction to, like, how he said he wouldn't want to play at the table with someone who doesn't allow metagaming. And I said, I would refuse to let you at my table anyways. And this is just, like, someone agreeing with that. He would not be welcome at my table again. I would pass too. It's the comments are turned off. Comments are turned off. Yeah, this is a big one. This guy thinks that the characters magically know things because the player decided that they do. That's perfect. That's exactly what this guy's issue is. He thinks that the players can just decide that the characters know stuff without them actually learning stuff. There's a couple of people like this where they're just like, if I won't metagame, if other people do, it's fine, but I try not to. Which, that's totally fine. But this guy isn't saying that. This guy is saying, like, metagaming is okay, and if you're not okay with it, then you're dumb, which is wrong. No, he's saying if you're not okay with it, then you're wrong, which is worse. This guy lives in the worst echo chamber. Only the DMs he wouldn't play with disagree. I've never met a player that enjoys metagaming. Honestly, same. I've never met a player that enjoys metagaming. Here's one. Here's a great example of why it's not okay and why you shouldn't do it. My co-players know that my character has murdered a few people in the past. Their characters do not know, and I would be so pissed if they acted like they did. That is why you don't do metagaming, because it'll ruin the experience for your fellow players. This man got sent to the Doom Dimension. So this video that these comments are about are based on the DMs don't write the story, don't write a campaign. Everybody writes the campaign together, which is, I think that one's just a misunderstanding. Like, he didn't say what he meant to say. This dude thinks that metagaming is absolutely necessary for a D&D game. He's also toxic and narcissistic as fuck. So this is the big comment that I've seen that made me think this guy's an issue. Right here. Going by comments of people who have played with him, he homebrewed a race that knows everything about everything, and no one knows anything about that race. Like, if that does not sum up what is wrong with players like this and dungeon masters like this, then I don't know what will. This is a big one. This is a big one that I saw earlier. I forgot to like it. This is a big one that I saw earlier. He wants to be in charge, whether he is a player or a DM. He wants to win. He's one of those players, and that is exactly it. For those of you who don't play Dungeons & Dragons, or just, you know what, just people in general, Dungeons & Dragons is not a game that you win. You can set goals that you can accomplish, and you can consider that winning, but you can't win or lose Dungeons & Dragons. You can succeed in-game, and you can fail in-game, but you can't win or lose the game itself. That's not how the game works. The whole point of the game is to cooperatively write a story with your group. Not write a campaign, write a story, which is very different from what he said. And as long as you succeed in writing that story, then I say, personally, if you succeeded in writing, ow, my knee. If you succeeded in writing a fun, immersive story and experiencing it with your friends, or even with strangers, who cares? I say that you won. That's my 2 cents. All right, I think we've gone through enough of the comments. Okay, guys, let's have a little chat, can we, for a second, please? I've been editing for like 4 hours because I recorded and then I went straight into editing the video so I could see if I could upload it today or tomorrow. And I just went to check my TikTok after a couple of hours. And this man, while I was editing a video about him, deleted all of his videos. Changed his name from Dungeons or Dragons to Play Stupid Games at Win Stupid Prizes, which I guess is clever. And there is one video on his account. And I watched the first like 5 seconds of it, but we're gonna watch the rest of it together. And that'll be the end of this video. And just in case you thought that I was like kidding about the timing, this is the video. This is the page that I was recording from earlier in the video. So we're gonna go ahead and refresh it. Dungeons or Dragons. Oh, it's gone. Did I get blocked? Wait, did I straight up get blocked? Because I could see it on my phone.
See, metagaming.
Okay, yeah. Here, at Win Stupid Prizes. This is the same account that I tagged, but it was just a different at, so it didn't work. Whatever. You get the point. Alright, everybody got your popcorn? Let's do this.
Hi everyone, I have an announcement to make. I am no longer treating TikTok as a social media app. From now on, I will be treating TikTok as though it were a game. So I'm not going to read any comments, I'm not going to read any messages, I'm not going to watch any stitches. All I'm going to do is check if I got any, and if I got any, I'm going to post a video. That's how I win. You can all win, all of you TikTok, if no one interacts with my account for 24 hours.
I just spent 5 hours editing a video about his account. Technically, we can still win because I'm posting this to YouTube, not to TikTok.
If that happens, I'll delete this account. Now, if you don't want to play this game, you can block this account. You'll never see it. And if we can go, as a society, 24 hours with our mouths shut, then you all win and I lose.
Okay, here's the thing. This is the biggest thing about this guy that makes him a narcissist. He thinks that we give a shit. We don't care about your game. We don't care if we win and you lose. We could not care less. But he is such a tool.
And that, my friends, is the game. As an individual, you can decide to lose or opt out. As a group, you can win.
This guy's literally just Jigsaw if instead of being like smart and deep and like contemplative and stuff, Jigsaw was just a douchebag. I just lost the game for everyone. You're welcome. Alright. Sorry, that was a really long video. I did not intend for it to be that long. I might go back in tomorrow and shorten it. I don't know. Right now it's over half an hour. So, sorry about that if I decide that I'm too lazy to change it. If you like the video, drop me a like. Maybe subscribe. I want to start doing more long-form videos like this. They won't all be calling people douchebags for half an hour, I promise. It'll be more like video gamey, D&D, just kind of general nerdy stuff. Yeah, if you wanna like follow me on TikTok or Twitch, those are both the Nerdy Rockstar. On Instagram, it's the Nerdy Cosplayer. Yeah. Bye.